one school district, and I feel very bad, and I do understand. In fact, I stood and said we needed to get onto this, and it didn't happen. But I knew it would. It would come home to roost if we don't address these issues. A moratorium, however, is not the answer. I will say this. This has to be on evidence, not on what I want to happen. Because if it's what I want to happen, I'd spend the money. Oh, by the way, I'm not supposed to raise taxes to do that, but we would spend the money. As an educator, I'm gonna flow that way. The point is, it's a whole lot more difficult to solve the issue without money. Just declaring a moratorium doesn't work, folks. The Supreme Court, this argument was made in the Supreme Court during the original discussion and was set aside. In other words, you can't out and just go out and raise money. It is a state responsibility. You can't just have enough barbecues and all car washes and all those kind of things to keep your school door open. It doesn't work. That's not what the court decided. The factual part about it is that if we change
this guy
anything,
a joke?
This legislature has to show the court that the evidence and the research is the reason we're making that decision.
You know what? We're doing just fine.
This is a
So Harrisburg
situation.
got our money.
And maybe there's two others. I don't know. There could be even three others. But you
Two or
can't
three
make
others?
a decision on one
It's not on one.
and not look at all the others. I'm asking you not to pass this bill. I'm asking you to send it, the interim study, to the adequacy study.
You've had
And if
10
you
years,
want to
mister.
pass a resolution that says you shall study it. But
And
this
you
is
haven't.
not the way to go about it.
You've had 10 years,
I've
buddy.
talked to so many times to the attorneys who was part of that original, but I can tell you, I do not
Why
want
does
to
BLR
open
say they
Pandora's
haven't?
box. Does it need to be studied? Yes. But we do not need to do it before it. It will cause Pandora's box to be opened. Will there be long-term litigation?
This guy's buying
I have
into
no
hook, line,
idea.
and sinker,
But we
isn't
are currently under litigation right now from a school district
You ain't
that
seen
says,
squat
and they're
yet.
not below 350. They're not below 350 even, says we're not giving enough money. They
And you know
cannot
who
provide
it
an adequate
is? Melbourne,
education.
Jim Cooper's area.
So if you tell me
Melbourne
that this won't put
and
us
Mount
into more
Judy.
litigation, I'm going to scratch my head on that one. That's not the evidence that's out there. In fact, there are attorneys that are waiting for us to do
Commerce
this.
up going.
I'm sorry. That's a fact.
Go on.
Again, I ask you to not pass this bill out of this chamber. We need this one to go to the adequacy committee saying, study it and bring us a recommendation. Thank you very much.
Go on.
Representative Ballard, for purpose.
Question.
Representative Carnine, you take a question. Representative Ballard, you're recognized for a question.
It was my understanding that this bill actually doesn't do anything with financial hardship. So if there's a situation where there's a school that's struggling financially, it can still be closed. Is that correct?
That's what there are competing sections of it. In fact, that was one of the things that happened. There were some amendments, but then there was some additional language. And now one would have to question that if you read the whole bill.
I mean, I read the bill, and to me it seems pretty easy. That if they're in financial hardship, the school can still be closed.
And there's some question if they were in academic hardship. But the point of the moratorium is that I would suggest that this would open up litigation regarding that if
From
they
who?
And I've read the Lakeview decision and I'm aware of it. And I can't see this opening up. In fact, this may save us some litigation because all the schools over
He's
the
an
next 2 years
attorney.
would be closed while this was in interim study, may not be closed, and so there may not be litigation over that.
And I respect your comment there, but let me again go back to the issue that Representative Wilkins raised. The Supreme Court said that the legislature is responsible
Hey, cut him off,
for
didn't he?
determining what adequacy is. Without a plan, the legislature, in my
Such
opinion,
a
is at risk for
rhino.
not doing their job. And I think and again, I'm only saying
Because he
this,
was prepped.
and this is my point. We got the cart before the horse. We need to do the study. That's apparent.
Just said they've already been done.
I don't question that. But creating a moratorium and additional concern
So let's
about
close
where
more schools.
we're at is not the appropriate method.
So you're saying we got the cart before the horse. What you would say is close the school and then study and see if you should.
No, because at the point in time, Wiener already has been consolidated. Wiener High School is part of another district right now. That particular district has determined that they want to close the school. It's been debated before the state board because they feel like it will put them in fiscal distress. Now, again, I was not part of that debate, but that's not the issue. Wiener School District has already been consolidated. There is a question on this moratorium that this could potentially open up all of those districts, question, in cases that have been consolidated within the last 10 years.
No, it's not.
So, and again, that may be appropriate, but I'm only saying to you
He's putting that
that
timeline down
the Supreme Court, in their decision, said that it's up to the legislator to decide what adequacy is.
I can't
period.
believe they elected him.
And I have said, and numerous times, to our people, we need to do that each year and bring you a recommendation. But it's got to be on evidence, and that was made very clear.
So we've decided what adequacy is. This school, is it getting any additional funding over what adequacy is?
I think the point would be if we do decide to set different numbers, or if we decide not to close schools and this type of thing, then it becomes our responsibility to come up with the money to assure that
His
we
voice is
have
annoying.
adequate education. Again, and I really don't want to further debate this issue, and I appreciate your questions. My point is, we do need to make this a study. This is something we need to take a long look at, because I don't think any of us feels any different about Wiener School District. They got consolidated, and yet they were a very fine school district. However, the court has said very clearly that if there is a reason that you determine them to be adequate, even though they don't meet your original design, you got to fund them, period.
Representative Gillis, what purpose? Representative has left the well. Representative Burris, recognized to speak for the bill.
Hammer's winding up there now. John Burris.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is an issue that we could debate all afternoon, probably. We've been debating it for 10 years. Everybody has a unique perspective. Representative Wilkins offered his, Representative Carnine his, and they're both very valuable. Mine's probably the most unique in the chamber. That's that I was a high school senior when my high school got proposed to be closed down when all this was being debated 10 years ago. And so it's an issue that I've dealt with for a long, long time and see the effect of. The point is, I think why I support this bill, anytime you're 10 years removed from major policy decisions, I think it's only wise to step back, assess the effect, see the good and the bad that it's caused, and then alter your course appropriately. And I think that's what this bill does. It doesn't change any of the parameters of the Lakeview decision. It doesn't change any parameters of state law. It just says that we're going to step back and we're going to assess what we're doing. We're going to see if it works. We're going to see if it's having a beneficial outcome for the children. The people, the high school students, like I was in 2003 when all this was being debated. So I think it's a positive step, and I think it's the right decision and the right track for the legislature to follow for the state. So I'd appreciate a good vote for the bill. Thank you.
Does anyone wish to speak against the bill? Representative Steele, for what purpose?
Motion.
Well, what's your motion?
Immediate consideration.
Charlotte.
Immediate consideration.
All right, this proper motion is non-debatable. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. No. The ayes have it.
For what?
The question before the House, passage of House Bill 1938, prepare the machine, Mr. Clerk.
For a vote.
She wanted to take one.
Has everyone voted?
Lord Jesus, Lord Jesus, we need to do it.
Has everyone voted?
Jesus, Lord Jesus.
Cast the ballots for 46 yeas, 26 nays, and 1 present. Bill fails to pass.
We need a motion for
Mr. Clerk, pass over House Bill 2132,